Formula One is a world where the smallest details can make or break a season. In 2024, Red Bull Racing entered the championship with their RB20, a car that seemed almost untouchable at the start of the season. The team's dominance, led by Max Verstappen, was undeniable, with victories piling up race after race. However, as the season progressed, something changed. A new theory has emerged, suggesting that the once dominant RB20 might be on the decline. In this video, we'll explore the rise of the RB20, the potential reasons for its decline, and the implications for the rest of the 2024 Formula One season. The RB20 was introduced at the start of the 2024 season with high expectations. Red Bull Racing had dominated the previous season, and their engineers had spent the winter perfecting what was already a winning formula. The RB20 featured a new aerodynamic package, an upgraded power unit from Honda, and a refined chassis that promised to keep Red Bull at the top of the sport. The early races of 2024 confirmed what many had feared: the RB20 was in a class of its own. Max Verstappen took pole positions and race wins with ease, often leaving his competitors struggling to keep up. The car's balance, speed, and reliability made it the envy of the paddock. The RB20 seemed poised to carry Red Bull to another Constructors' Championship, with Verstappen eyeing his next driver's title. As the season moved into its middle stages, subtle signs of trouble began to emerge. While the RB20 was still fast, it was no longer the invincible machine that had dominated the early races. Rivals like McLaren, Mercedes, and Ferrari started closing the gap. At circuits where Red Bull had traditionally been strong, such as Silverstone and Spa, the RB20 struggled to maintain its advantage. Max Verstappen, always one to push his car to the limit, began voicing concerns over team radio.
No, man, don't give me that bullshit now. You guys give me the fucking strategy, okay? I'm trying to rescue what's left.
He complained about balance issues, unpredictable handling, and a lack of pace in the latter stages of races. While the RB20 was still competitive, the margin for error had decreased significantly. Verstappen's concerns were initially dismissed as minor, but they foreshadowed bigger problems to come. As Red Bull began to falter, their rivals seized the opportunity. McLaren's resurgence, led by Lando Norris, and Mercedes' consistent performances put Red Bull under pressure. Ferrari, too, found form with their upgraded SF24, challenging Red Bull on circuits where they had previously struggled. Suddenly, what seemed like a foregone conclusion at the start of the season was anything but. With Red Bull's performance slipping, a new theory has emerged within the F1 community. The RB20's decline might be linked to a fundamental design flaw or a miscalculation in development. Engineers and analysts have begun to speculate that the car's design, while revolutionary, might have limitations that are only now becoming apparent as the season progresses. One of the leading theories revolves around the car's aerodynamics. The RB20 was designed with an aggressive aero package, focusing on maximizing downforce while minimizing drag. This worked brilliantly in the early part of the season when track temperatures were cooler, and tire degradation was less of an issue. However, as the season moved into hotter climates, the car's aggressive aero package began to backfire, leading to higher tire wear and inconsistent handling. Another area of concern is the power unit. Honda's engine, while powerful, has been rumored to have reliability issues. The RB20's engine has been pushed to its limits, and there are whispers that the team might be struggling to manage the power output effectively. This could explain the car's drop in straight-line speed, especially in races where power demand is high. Finally, there's the issue of setup sensitivity. The RB20 appears to be a car that operates within a very narrow performance window. When the setup is perfect, the car is unbeatable. But when conditions change, even slightly, the car's performance drops significantly. This has led to inconsistent results, with the RB20 performing brilliantly in some races and struggling in others. The second half of the 2024 season will be crucial for Red Bull. With several high-speed circuits still to come, including Monza and Suzuka, the RB20's weaknesses could be further exposed. The team will need to find a way to balance performance and reliability if they're to stay in the title fight. Beyond 2024, Red Bull will need to take a hard look at their development process. The RB20's decline has raised questions about the team's design philosophy and their ability to adapt to changing conditions. As the sport evolves, with new regulations on the horizon, Red Bull will need to ensure that they're not left behind. Regardless of how the season ends, the RB20 will be remembered as a car that started as a dominant force but faced significant challenges as the season progressed. Whether Red Bull can overcome these challenges and secure the championship will determine the car's place in F1 history. Yet despite starting the season with 4 wins from the first 5 races, including 3 1-2 finishes for Verstappen and Sergio Perez, Red Bull have stumbled by comparison over recent months. Verstappen has been restricted to just 3 wins across the last 9 rounds, with his last victory occurring at the Spanish Grand Prix in Barcelona on June 23. The reigning world champion continues to hold a 78-point lead over Lando Norris in the drivers' standings ahead of the final 10 races, starting with next weekend's Dutch Grand Prix at Zandvoort, with Red Bull nursing a 42-point advantage over McLaren in the Constructors' Championship. Since the 2021 season, a budget cap and aerodynamic research restrictions have been in place in F1 with the aim of leveling the playing field and creating closer competition on track. The amount of wind tunnel runs and CFD testing each team is allowed to carry out is based on the previous season's Constructors' Championship placings, with the world champions afforded considerably less research work than the team who finished 10th. The order of this sliding scale is reset on June 30 during each season to reflect the state of play during the current campaign. Hill is convinced that the post-2021 budgetary and development restrictions have played a role in Red Bull's recent struggles, claiming the car's decline has been quite dramatic since the start of the season. Appearing on the Formula One podcast, he said, "It is impossible to call because I think the trajectory has been quite noticeable. The plateauing of Red Bull and Max Verstappen has been quite dramatic. I don't know whether it's the cost cap or all the other things they bring in, like the restrictions for teams who have won more than anyone else in the previous season, but it has to be partly that." With Norris and teammate Oscar Piastri collecting their maiden Grand Prix victories in Miami and Hungary respectively across the first half of F1 2024, McLaren have a great chance to secure their first constructors' title since 1998 and their first championship of any kind since 2008 in the coming months. And with Mercedes winning 3 of the last 4 races prior to the summer break, Hill believes the rules are having the desired effect. He added, "Of course, it's no good. The rulemakers, just saying, let everyone catch up. If they don't know what they're doing, they won't catch up. They are obviously earning those positions, they're earning the right to challenge for victories." The rise of McLaren notably, and also the recovery of Mercedes, has been pretty dramatic since technical director James Allison announced, "How could we have been so stupid? They've got their little tweak, whatever it is that they've done, to make the car work. It's all starting to close up now. Ferrari are the only people who have got into a little bit of a vortex and going around in circles without really getting further ahead. But convergence is coming, so it's great to see." Hill's comments come after Red Bull engineer Callum Nicholas dismissed a theory that a tweak to the regulations, related to a clever braking system, is behind the RB20's struggles. The 2024 Formula One season has been a rollercoaster for Red Bull Racing and the RB20. From early season dominance to mid-season struggles, the team now faces its toughest challenge yet. The emerging theory of the RB20's decline adds another layer of intrigue to what has already been a thrilling championship battle. As the season reaches its climax, all eyes will be on Red Bull to see if they can turn things around and reclaim their position at the top of the sport.